Gotta check if we have a pulse after the season opener. What is up with the Toronto Blue Jays and season openers? If you guys remember last year, they went down, 6 or 7-0 to the Texas Rangers, came back and won it. Everyone's losing their mind. Well, tonight, or I guess afternoon, which turned into the night because I guess this plan to make games not long went by the wayside tonight. The Jays win, somehow, 10-9 over the St. Louis Cardinals at Busch Stadium in St. Louis for the season opener. And they're now 1-0 on the season. Alek Manoah got the ball today, and he wasn't great. I'm wearing his jersey, I'm jacked up, love the guy, but let's be honest, he wasn't the greatest. However, it is a team sport, and more than anything, you can't have one guy be great and instantly your team's fantastic. Just ask the Angels. So Alek Manoah wasn't on, but the offense was ready to go. Very first inning, George Springer leads off the game with a hit. Bo gets a bloop single. We got 2 on here. Vladdy then flies out, and we're like, okay, well, he moved run up to third base. Okay, maybe let's see if we can get him in. And Dalton Varsho gets his first plate appearance as a Blue Jay, and he puts up a heck of an at-bat. And then rips one down the first baseline, goes all the way to the wall. Springer scores in the play. Bo goes to third. And the Jays got the 1-0 lead. Up next, Alejandro Kirk. He hits a single. In comes Varsho. In comes Bo. And the Jays have a 3-0 lead after the top half of the first. Great start. Bottom 1. Bo tries to make a heroic play on a double play. Does not work. He overthrows it and it goes into the stands, or into the dugout, I believe, for an extra 90 feet. In the first inning, we already see Bo Bichette doing something like that, and we're like, no, man, I want to like you at short, but that's painful to watch. Albeit it didn't really amount to anything, because I think Manoah walked the next guy anyways, so that it would have been first and second anyways. But then Nolan Arenado hits an RBI single. Brendan Donovan comes in to score, and it's a 3-1 game. Now, the damage was limited to that, so you're still up 2 runs heading into the second inning. Then, Springer, and man, did Springer have some sort of 4-leaf clover ram so far up his rear tonight, it was insane. But he gets another hit, and Bo drives him down the first baseline. It's an RBI double from Bo Bichette. Springer scores. Jays get that run back. It's now a 4-1 lead. Great stuff. Bottom of the third inning comes around. Tyler O'Neill, Canadian boy, hits a 2-run shot. Contreras comes in to score, and it is now a 4-3 game. We go to the top of the fourth inning. And Springer at third. Less than 2 out. Dalton Varsho at the dish. He hits a sacrifice fly, a line drive to left with a lefty on the hill. And that was a big thing with him last year. The inability really to do anything against left-handed pitchers. Did a great job. Hits a ball to left. Gets the sacrifice fly. In comes George Springer. Jays get one of those 2 runs back. It's now a 5-3 Jays lead. Then in the bottom of the fourth inning, though, Donovan hits a 2-run shot. Edman scores, and I think Edman got on via the walk, and those things come back to haunt you. And we are now tied at 5. Not pretty. However, shout out to the fellas, Zach Pop and Eric Swanson. Getting out of that fourth inning and did a great job in the fifth and for 2/3 of the sixth. And the reason I say 2/3, I have no idea why Tim Mesa came into that game. Absolutely no idea. I'm not going to sit here and start bashing the manager and everything because it's game 1 of the season, but ladies and gentlemen, Eric Swanson is a damn good reliever. Hell, we traded Teoscar Hernandez for him, so he better be good. He does a great job against 3 guys, mowing them down, doing great things. Gets the number 9 hitter, top of the lineup comes up, there's 2 out. And Schneider goes to Tim Mayza for the lefties for the next two guys. And, logically you'd think, yeah, sure, get the lefty against the two lefties and the top of the lineup. Sure, makes sense. But hold on. Eric Swanson is dominant against lefties. Last year, in 28 and a third innings against just lefties. So put that in perspective. You face three lefties. That's one inning of work. 28 and a third of just lefties. They have a sub 600 OPS. That is awful. Swanson dominates lefties. And he gets the first two guys out in the inning. There's two out and nobody on. I don't know why you don't let Swanson face Donovan. And if he gets him out, great. If he doesn't, sure, maybe you give him the hook at that point. But even then, he dominates lefties. You don't let him face him. You bring out Tim Mayza. He allows 2 straight hits. Problem now, you can't pull him, and he's got to face Paul Goldschmidt, who dominates lefties. And he gets an RBI single, scoring Donovan to give them the lead 6-5. I don't understand that move from Schneider. He then pulls him, which, let's be honest, you're already trailing, it doesn't matter. Don't get it. The top of the 7th inning comes up. Jays get a guy on at second base. They bring in Nathan Lucas to pinch run. Congrats to him in his first time in the big leagues playing. He didn't get an at-bat, but he played. And Matt Chapman rips an RBI single. Lucas comes in to score to tie the game. Great stuff. Bottom of the 7th inning, though. Can't do anything. Anthony Bass struggles. Then Adam Zimmer comes on, walks a guy, load the bases. Then Walker hits a ground ball to Bo Bichette. Not sure why he didn't go home with Contreras, the catcher, running to the plate, but tries to turn 2. Looks like he bobbled it a little bit on the transfer to second. They can't get the double play. They get 1 out. And there's runners in the corners. Luckily, no one else comes across to score. And then the top half of the 8th inning, the Jays offense continues to roll. George Springer, another blue pit. Bo Bichette, was it the little dribbler? I can't remember when that happened. I think it was that one where he hits the little dribbler. And they get 2 on now. And a wild pitch occurs. You have second and third. Vladdy rips an RBI single. Both guys come in to score. The Jays have regained the lead. Now I forget what the score is. Was it 8-7 maybe? Was it 8-7? I think it was 8-7 at the time. I could be totally wrong. Then the bottom of the 8th inning, Nolan Arenado hits an RBI double. 2-run score. Goldschmidt and Nootbaar scores. And this is off of Jimmy Garcia. And they regain the lead. It's now 9-8. And you're like, oh my God, this game is taking years off my life. And then we go to the top of the 9th inning. They bring in Helsley to pitch. And this guy throws 99. Albeit so did Jordan Hicks, but he was all over the place. But this is their closer, and he was phenomenal last season. So this might not go well. Well, Whit Merrifield walks on 4 pitches to start. And what did we talk about when it came to the Blue Jays walking the number 9 hitters and allowing Tommy Edman to get on base? It's going to cause havoc. Now Whit Merrifield gets on with the walk. And Kevin Kiermaier hits a single, moving Whit Merrifield to third. So you have first and third, nobody out, turning the lineup over. George Springer hits a single. Another bloop single. Whit Merrifield scores, but shout out Kevin Kiermaier. I mean, he's getting closer and closer to second base as this ball's up in the air because he sees it's about to drop. And once it drops in, he's already touched second, heading to third. So he's safely standing up at third base. You have first and third, less than 2 out, and a huge extra 90 feet for Kevin Kiermaier. Again, smart on the bases. Really good job. And then Vladdy hits a sacrifice fly, doesn't try to do too much, forces it to center field, gets the sac fly. Kiermaier scores. Jays retake the lead 10-9. Romano comes out 1-2-3 with a couple strikeouts. Ball game. Oh my God, that game was stressful. It really was. Let's get to these player stats. George Springer, 5 for 6 in the game, but one of them was the only thing hit half decent. But as Kevin Barker would say, hit it where they ain't. 5 for 6, 4 runs scored, and an RBI. Bo Bichette went 4 for 6, scored 2 runs, had an RBI. Did great with the bat, was very iffy on defense. Vladdy went 2 for 4, but had 3 RBIs, 2 of which were on sacrifice flies, separate ones. Really good day for Vladdy. Dalton Varsho did go 1 for 5, but he had a run scored. He had 2 RBIs. Obviously had the RBI double to lead off the ball game and had a sac fly later in the game. Nice night for Varsho. Alejandro Kirk only went 1 for 5, but had that 2-run single there in the first inning. Matt Chapman, who had an abysmal spring, only had 9 hits. This is why spring training means squat. He had 9 hits all spring. Dude had 3 today. 3 for 5 with an RBI. Really good night for Matt Chapman. And Kevin Kiermaier in the 9-hole, 2 for 5 with a run scored, just causing havoc and being smart. And obviously making some really nice defensive plays, especially that one in the 8th inning, I believe, of a line drive from, I can't remember who it was. Nolan Arenado? No, I could be wrong. But he did a phenomenal job. The team overall, 19 hits. Whatever, some bloopers, few line drives, some infield singles, whatever. Wild game. 19 hits, 11 strikeouts, walked 3 times. Pitching-wise, we'll rip through this real quick. Alec Manoah, like I said, did not have a great night. 3 1/3, 9 hits allowed, 5 runs, all earned, 3 Ks, walked 2 and allowed 2 home runs. Not an Alec Manoah performance that's all, that he's going to hang his hat on. But again, not worried about him. Move on to the next one. Zach Pop, outstanding. An inning and a third, no base runners, had a strikeout. Eric Swanson had an inning, no base runners, couple strikeouts. Tim Meza couldn't get an out, had 3 hits, allowed a run. Not great. Anthony Bass allowed a third of an inning, allowed a hit, a run, a walk. Adam Simber allowed a walk to load the bases, albeit didn't allow any hits, no earned runs on his standpoint, but the infield, obviously the RBI ground out was charged to Anthony Bass. Jimmy Garcia somehow picked up the win. Goes an inning, allows a couple hits, couple runs, walks a guy. Not great for Jimmy Garcia in his first game of the season, but again, not worried. And Jordan Romano picking up right where he left off last season. An inning pitched, couple strikeouts, no base runners, picks up the save as the Jays win game 1 of the season 10-9. Wild! Now, the Jays have an off day tomorrow before they get back in action against the Cardinals for games 2 and 3 on the weekend. And Kevin Gausman gets the hill for the Blue Jays in Game 2 on Saturday afternoon versus Jack Flaherty. That's a 2:15 first pitch there on Saturday. And for Jays fans, I say this. When it comes to road series, more in particular against damn good teams like this, find a way to win series. You won Game 1, somehow, but you did it. Let's see if we can win one of the next 2. You have Kevin Gausman and Jack Flaherty going in Games 2. I believe it's Chris Bassett. I can't remember who's their starter for Game 3. But Chris Bassett gets the ball, the Bassett Hound, for the Blue Jays in Game 3 on Sunday afternoon. All right, so you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and are jacked up to have baseball back, even though this game was stressful from minute 1 to minute, well, it was like 4 hours worth, it felt like. It's just insane. Can't wait for these 2-hour games to kick in for my mental sake. I really can't. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you guys not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game for the Toronto Blue Jays? The Twitter and Instagram links are down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. The Discord and TikTok links are down below, so follow up, send me a DM to that great stuff. That's everything. I think I ran over everything. The Raptors are back in action tomorrow as they are in Philly taking on the 76ers at 7 p.m., I believe. As for the Leafs, they're back in action on Saturday as they are in Ottawa taking on the Senators at 7 p.m. there. And as for the Jays, as we talked about, they're back in action for Game 2 of the 3 games set on Saturday afternoon. Jack Flaherty, Kevin Gausman at 2:15 on Saturday at Busch Stadium. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the win today. We'll talk to you guys then.